the booming is a lot of startups are coming up in Toronto. Toronto is one of the largest in Northern America, next to California. Having so many startups and hiring a lot of people in the IT sector. So you have.
Hi, Venkat. Welcome to Immigrant. Thank you so much for joining. Before we jump into the questions that I have for you, if you can please quickly introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hi, Sagar. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. It's a pleasure talking to you. My name is Venkata Chaitabya Mantravadi, and I've come to Canada close to 4.5 years. It's close to 4.5 years back. So it's been around 4 to 5 years, I can say figuratively. Over the years, I have experience as an IT professional back home in India. I have my education in engineering, electrical electronics, and my master's in finance as a major. And currently, I'm working in the IT field, IT sector, in the telecommunication sector in Canada. So, if you take 3-4 job profiles, for example, if you're getting into a project management side, you can look for PCO position, project control officer. That is the initial role. Or you can even go to the more entry level would be a Scrum Master. You can start as a Scrum Master and then slowly climb yourself. I know Canada is a very competitive market. You need to be much more, when you start, there are some certain apprehensions to start off with in India, that you are in a senior PM or you're a project manager in some role, and then you come to this country. The first question that is being asked always is, do you have experience, Canadian experience? Right. So the easiest way to get into this sector would be at entry levels, like a Scrum Master or a PCO, and then you can climb. So this is part of the management side. If you are a developer or a business analyst, then you do have entry level business analyst position. You do have entry level developer. Of course, if you have certifications and there are openings, definitely you can move into laterally and directly into that role as such.
So, any certification that you would like to suggest to our audience according to the Canadian job market?
Absolutely. There are a lot of certifications that one can actually look for, and something to do. It's easy to get into these positions. For example, you can go for a Scrum Master certification. There are a lot of institutions that give you the Scrum Master certifications. Now, Scrum Master certification does even help you to get into the management side, because and you have hybrid roles these days coming in Canada. The roles are evolving as such that even if you do a Scrum Master certification, that will not only help you in a project management side, that will also help you to actually evolve as a project manager in future when you do a CAPM certification or a PMP certification, right? The institute doesn't really hold good as such, but the certification does hold good. It can actually allow you to put the foot into the door. That's pretty easy. And then the other ones, if you are into core IT and if you are someone who is like an admin, system support and all, then you have certifications like A+. From there you can begin and then start moving in. If you already have a certification that you have done in your earlier, you need to definitely mention that in your resume. Any certification that you have done should be presented in the resume.
Great. And help me out here. I mean, I've asked this question a lot of time before as well, from people from different backgrounds. So certification is something, it's not, you should not just do it for sake of getting it, right? At the end, like when you sit in the interview, it's your knowledge that plays out, right?
You're right. You should do a certification based on your experience that you have and your interest in that field.
Right.
For example, if you're good at management side of the aspects of dealing with the teams, dealing with, for example, myself, I'm a project control officer or a junior PM. So I deal with on a day-to-day basis with developers, QAs, and business analysts and various team members. I used to before, and even in my current role, I deal with a lot of senior project managers or deal managers, deal coordinators, various other departments, finance or marketing and legal teams. So it's people management. Now, people management comes in various forms. Even if you are a Scrum Master, your day-to-day dealing is with the entire team, right? So you grasp each one from each certification. Like a Scrum Master role teaches you something. A PMP teaches you how to deal with a lot of projects, how to deal with various aspects in the project, right? If you're doing a certification and when you're sitting in front of the team, when you're giving an interview, you need to be in a position to explain why you did that certification and what you have leveraged from that certification, and how the certification helped you in gaining this role, and how that would help you in progressing further in that role. Exactly. Right? So it needs to be a story. You cannot have patch up work when it comes to a certification. You need to have an understanding why you did that certification.
That's true, and that and especially for people who are coming, from different countries. As you said, that when you sit in the interview, you should be able to explain why you did that, right? And for that, everything boils down to your communication, right?
Exactly. You need to be pretty much precise, especially in Canadian market. The roles are very precise. The job description is to the point. The recruiter or the talent acquisition specialist, they know whom they are talking to, because they're going to present you in front of the hiring manager. So your resume should be designed in such a way that you know the aspects of the job description, and you have the correspondent certificate or certification that you have done for that particular role. So that actually helps them to take a call on your profile as a candidate for the role.
Great. Thanks for mentioning that as well. So moving forward, Venkat, I know IT sector is one of the high in demand sectors in Canada, and that one of the highest paying job that you can expect. So what kind of organizations usually hire for IT roles?
All right. There are various sectors. You can get into banking. You can get into the food and beverages industry. You can get into retail industries, and then the booming is a lot of startups are coming up in Toronto. Toronto is one of the largest in Northern America, next to California. Having so many startups and hiring a lot of people in the IT sector. So you have a huge plateau to get into the IT sector. So I wouldn't say one sector, but banking, you have CIBC, RBC, BMO, the big five, as you call them. Right. They do hire a lot of IT people. Then you have Sobeys, Walmart, and Canadian Tire, Home Depot. They also hire a lot of IT candidates.
Great. So it's basically like startups and banks and retail, right?
Oh yes. The startups in finance. There are a lot of startups that are coming in finance, accounting. These startups are actually taking in a lot of IT people, and they do hire. They do pay good as well.
Any advice that you would like to give to our viewers on landing a full-time job in this particular field?
I have pretty much task cut out for the people who actually land in Canada and looking for a job opportunity markets. It's pretty simple. The approach should be